Am I looking at the right tree? That might help. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I really enjoy it. You know, you get out to these different places.
I was just gonna be like, Matt, I might need your help.
Having the river and the gorge with all the rockiness, I just think is really neat. And just like the diversity of trees and shrubs and things that you find here.
Hi, I'm Sammy Demers with Outside Science, Inside Parks. We're at New River Gorge, the newest national park. Park scientists and interns here are combing the forest to keep an eye on all the plants that make this place so special. It can be kind of messy on some days, so get ready.
Forests are really important to these parks, and if we don't know what's happening in the forest, we can't manage them appropriately. So going to these monitoring locations over time and really checking on what the forest is doing, how is it changing, is important to inform the management in the parks.
We have a certain select number of plots that we visit every year, and in those plots we look at the number of trees in the plot, how healthy the trees look, whether there's any damage to the trees, any invasive species or things like that that could harm the trees. We also look at regeneration, so like what's coming up on the forest floor, what kind of seedlings are there, how tall they are, what species they are. We also look at every sort of species within the plot, you know, record what's there.
4 and 10. So we also will look at how tall the tree is, whether it's a canopy tree or a sub-canopy tree. It's very tough in the rain to do.
And after all that, we characterize the stand. How dense is the shrub layer? How open is the canopy? And so really getting a sense of what the forest is like.
Perfect. Yeah, sometimes those rainy days can be hard just because you're wet all day, but it's nice being out in the fields and getting to move around and do practical things instead of just sitting in an office all day.
There's an oxydendron 42 6.4.
And it's also really nice to know that, you know, you're trying to make a difference in keeping the forest how they were, and you know, it's really neat. 20.8.
It's incredible to take young people out in the woods and help them discover all of the things that are out there. And it's always an adventure, and we always see something new. And it's just really fun to share that with young people every summer.
A lot of my career has just been academic and like classroom learning with some excursions, and so I think actually getting more hands-on experience with like tree identification and getting to know different landscapes is really valuable.
You go way off the trail in some of these places, have to cross a river. I know there's been plots where we have to like wade across the river in a real shallow section. We get over, we hike off a trail in the middle of nowhere, and then there's a really old house foundation there. And that's just really cool to see, because you're like, who knows how many people even really know about it besides us.
Even the hard days are fun, and if it wasn't fun while you were doing it, it has a fun story at the end, and it all goes to a greater cause. So even if we're wet or hot or tired, it's still an adventure.
I totally thought there was like another one that came in, and I was like, no, that's the same tree, never mind.
I think it's really nice. Like, it's something that makes me really happy to think about, that I can go and do science in a lot of really cool places.
Thanks for watching this episode of Outside Science, Inside Parks. We'll see you next time.